I find so many people who are doing printing here who wonder where I get the jobs, who wonder where the jobs are. But the jobs are right there. It's just because there are some people who actually have a message but don't even know they have a message. So if you can just propose to them and tell them, you know what, your message is good, can be good for the world. Can we put it out there? There are so many people. For example, I've done, I remember, I listened to a message by Apostle Grace, if you've heard of him, or Fanero. One message, one of the messages stood out for me. And I transcribed the whole message without his permission. I did a transcription. I used to have a sample of that book. I did the transcription, developed the book, did the design, did the book, yes, and then tried to find opportunity for an audience. When I did that, met him, was excited. He looked at it, was excited. Of course, he promised to get back to me. He hasn't yet, but they are working on it. So the idea was that for me, I just can't sit on Nasa Road or on Nkrumah and wait for people to walk in. Because first and foremost, for books, it's rare to find walk-in clients. You know, someone is not going to just walk in and say, you know what, I want to print a book, where should I do it from? Most of the clients we have, even if I decided to put my office at home, I would still have them because they simply call. They simply call. So that's the thing. So I decided that I'm not going to just stay here and wait for them. I will look for them. So if I discover that you have an interesting message, I'll definitely come to you and propose. First and foremost, the gap of design. The quality of design is so poor on Nasa Road. Can you imagine there are books that people send to me and I refuse to print them? Simply because if I look at a book that is poorly done, if I suggest that we can actually help you to redo it and you think either we just want to get that money for design, I let you go. Why? Because, for example, if you went down here on Nasa Road, you'll find guys standing on doorways in front of shops. Those guys keep calling for people to. They'll say, hey, do you want design? Do you want this? So they can design for you a book actually in one day or less. They can do a cover design for you in 30 minutes. So the problem that we had here was that kind of what? That kind of transaction. So you find that most of the people here thought that that's how things are done. In fact, sometimes you explain to clients, you explain to authors and tell them, you know what, this design needs to take time. And when you're charging them a specific amount of money, sometimes they think it's exorbitant. But it's just because of the time and the quality of time you're going to put into that production. This book here, we started working on it. We started working on it last year because these guys gave us the title, gave us Threads and Faces before they even gave us the manuscripts inside, the content. So we started by developing cover concepts. So we did this, but it has taken time. So when someone assumes, most of the people who don't know what happens in the book world, someone assumes that you walk down to Nasa Road, get a cover designed, and then the next day you print a book. So that's why you find poor quality books on market. Ours take time. We put in a lot of thought. That's the thing.
On average, how long does it take you to design a cover? Say I came to you and I have no idea how my cover needs to look like. What estimate time would you tell me to get back to you?
We've done, on average, we'll need a week. On average, a week. Sometimes we do it less than a week, 3 days, depending. Because most of the times we'll do about 3 to 4 covers and then you choose. I learned this thing from here, from Nasa Road. Just like I told you the first time I tried to when I came to rescue my book that was being delayed, I got interested. I got interested. And then the first job I got, I worked with someone who was helping me do it. But of course, you see, if you're a person who is excellent, you don't have to be at the same level like your teacher. Sometimes you'll exceed them. So there are things you look out for that for them they won't mind about, you know. So I think that's what helped me to go beyond the person actually who introduced me to printing here. One of the things I discovered is that any machine you have, once it is serviced well and the operator knows what he's doing, will give you a great job. Most of these machines, once it is serviced well and the operator knows what he's doing, it will give you a great job. You get? Because you can find this machine. This is a biz hub. It's a biz hub. You can find this biz hub printing a full color job that will almost look like a Xerox. And then you'll find them here. If you told me to print a full color job on it, it will be so lousy. Why? Because for me, they strictly print black and white. So I don't so much care about servicing the other what? Color portions. So all I'm trying to say is that what we need, machines have to be serviced well, but also operators need to know what to do. But also they need to be, because there are also operators who know what to do, but they simply don't care. There are people who just don't care. Because sometimes you can find an issue with a book, and then you tell someone and he tells you, but that one can pass. So there are people who just don't care. You get? So somehow you need to have a team that, for example, if you're a team leader, for example, for me, my guys know strictly what I want. If there's any slight issue with it, they have to put it aside. For example, when we're doing these covers, we did this book has both spot vanish and debossing. So sometimes when you're doing spot vanishing, the cover can move a bit so that the vanish is off the letters. But before we could bind, we had to select all those covers and put them aside. So when we are doing 500 covers, we don't run 500 covers. We run 1,000 covers. When we are doing books, if someone gives me an order of 1,000 books, I don't run 1,000, I run 1,200 books. You get? So most of those things, some people who are into printing can't even think that is possible. They think you're crazy. How do you put in 200 extras? But I put in 200 extra copies because I want excellence. I want, when I give you 1,000 copies, they are the right copies. You know, there are so many factors that determine the quality of books. There are so many factors that determine the quality of books. One of the things that for me I realize is this, the cost. Because a good quality book, you'll have to pay some substantial amount of money that is not... I'll give you an example. A gentleman came to me, I think that was in 2015, and he had a book that he wanted me to do for him. So when he came, he told me he wanted 1,000 copies, and I gave him a quotation. At the time, I think I charged him 5,000 Uganda shillings per copy for 1,000 copies. So he thought it was so expensive. So he went to another guy who gave him a quotation of 3,000 shillings. So what happened was, This other guy, instead of using metallic plates, he used paper plates. In the offset production, instead of using metallic plates, he used paper plates. So the images couldn't come out well. The print was like ferrisograph. It was, a kind of thing. So at the end of it all, he couldn't complete the job, because when the guy came and saw the quality of during the sorting, he saw the images were fake, everything was lousy. He had to reorganize himself and redo the print with me again. So meaning that, you see, I'll charge you according to what I think will get this, will help me bring out the best quality.